In this video, we're going to write the equation in standard form of an ellipse not centered at the origin. It says, what is the standard form equation of the ellipse that has vertices -1, -14, and -1, 4, and foci -1, -13, and -1, 3? Well, remember that vertices are going to be on the major axis. And if it says that we have -1, -14, and -1, 4, let's go ahead and graph those. So I end up with, let's see, -1, 4. So -1 would be here. Up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's plot a point. And then we're going to go down 14. 1, 2, 3. So we're all the way down here. So these are our two vertices. And then they tell us the foci are -1, -13, so that's be right here. And then -1, 3 right here. So we have this ellipse that's going to look like this. Now I don't know where this is going to actually land for these 2 points. I don't know where the co-vertices are. I don't know where these are at, but it's going to look like this. We're going to have a major axis that runs down this direction. And so I can actually find HK by subtracting the y values here. So what's the difference between -14 and 4? So if I go -14 minus 4, so I'm going to say that this is the k value. -14 minus 4 divided by 2. I get -9. So I've got, let's see, -9 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's not right. I'm going to do -14. Let me do that again. To find that k value, I would have -14 minus plus 4, finding the average, divided by 2. So that'd be -14 plus 4 is -10 over 2. So k is -5. So if I go and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this point should have been right there. Sorry, I should have marked that. So this point is HK, and it's at -1, -5. And I know -1 because -1's been the constant for this major axis there. So I now know that my center is -1, -5. Okay, can I figure out what b squared is? So b squared is going to be the distance from the center to one of the, well, b is going to be the distance from the center, which would be right here, to one of the endpoints. So what is that distance? Well, that distance, if I take the center, which is -5, so I'm going to try to find b by saying that this y value -5, and then I want to subtract -14, and when I subtract -14, right, because I'm subtracting out one of the ends, I get the distance, which is +9. Okay, so b is 9. That tells us that b squared is equal to 81. So if I square b, I get 81. So we're starting to see that we have this formula for our equation. It's going to be x minus h squared all over, and because this is vertically oriented here, this is going to be b squared. We always want a to be greater than b. So we've got b squared here. Oops, sorry, this is not b. Getting all this jacked up. On the major axes, from here to here, this would be a. So this should have been a is equal to -5 minus -14, which is equal to 9. This should have been a squared. which is equal to 81. This is the major axis. The distance from the endpoints to the center is a distance of a. So I am writing this equation correctly though. I have x minus h squared over b squared plus, this would be y minus k squared over a squared is equal to 1. So I have found a squared to be 81, so I can write this as, let's write x, h we know is -1, so it's x plus 1 squared, plus k is equal to -5, so we can write y plus 5 squared, and then I have over a squared, which is 81 here, is equal to 1. And the only thing I'm looking for is this b squared value. What is this value there? Well, to find that value, I can take a squared along with what c squared is. So I need to find c. And remember, c is going to be the distance. So c is going to be the distance from the foci to the center. So the distance I've got here, the y value I have there for the foci would be -13. So I'm going to take -13. And I'm going to add it with, well, I'm going to subtract, sorry, -5. So I'm going to subtract -13 minus -5. This is what c would equal. And -13 minus -5 would be a distance of -8. I could just count here and see that there's a distance or a difference of -8. So c squared then is equal to 64. If I square -8, I get 64. So I can use this equation for the foci, c squared equals a squared minus b squared, to find this b squared piece. So I get 64 is equal to 81 minus b squared. Subtract the 81 on each side. I get -17 equals negative b squared. Divide by a negative on each side, I get 17 is equal to b squared. So then I can take 17 and plug that in to the equation. So I have 17 here. And you can see that this equation works for this ellipse. And which option is it? It'd be the fifth option there.